Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Good morning, everybody. Let's get the links out first. Should probably always get the links out first, but sometimes I just want to talk, you know? I don't like having this bit at the beginning of the video where you're waiting for me to post the links and you're like, get on with it. I want to see what you thought before the markets went live so that I can laugh about how wrong you were today. This won't. Okay. There's that one. Okay, so yesterday, let's pull this over. Okay, so yesterday, we had the CPI data. It was under expectations, so inflation not as great as expected. That should move us up, and it did, but not very much at all. And then we also had the auction, and that also moved us up. But again, not very long lived. So kind of interesting here in Treasuries. Now on the overnight, they had to push higher. It stopped right about where you would expect it to stop based off of this move from the overnight. So we could be having a down day. But we have CPI data today, which is also more inflation data. That might move us more. So we want to see what happens there first. When we look at our one range chart, we can see, let's get rid of that. See they're having a hard time developing any kind of trend today. Now, they had it briefly yesterday, but not really. There's a trend. That's a trend. Get above that 20 line. Okay. So, we're going to, so given that, we're going to need to be very careful about our location and be stingy about what price we take. Okay. The other thing is that the E-mini had a pretty good day yesterday, and we are sitting like right up against some pretty long-term levels. So they could be testing this 27 to 15, 20 area. Definitely need to keep an eye on that. Don't want to have that like get rejected and then end up in a bad treasury trade short. So that's that. Bitcoin, when we came in, they'd had a recovery, and since that time, they're pretty much just ranging. So I would say Bitcoin's ripe for another sell-off, but we'll see what happens if they decide to go for it or not today. Yeah, that's about it for now. So we have the news, CPI in about 10 minutes time. So we're just going to sit and wait for that. Have a little bit of oatmeal left to eat, so I'm gonna eat that.
best status for month-on-month read prior print of 2% again prior, and also get the continuing prior reading average hourly earning April and no estimates prior was not 1%. That housing price in prints from that reading prior print of percent employment for looking. Apologies. heads up being the state of PI month to month. Job 1,000 Canadian data for the price in that read year-on-year print of
Okay, so we're all ready for the news here. We have, oh, you know what? I don't even have my freaking, I'm so dumb. I'm so dumb, guys. I'm so sorry. Okay, now you can see me. Sorry, smash the bid. Okay. So just to recap, we have news coming out in a minute. We tested higher. We didn't get very far. If this CPI data comes out higher than expected, which is spot 3 and spot 2 is what he's going to say, we have a possibility of a further down move. If we move up, we have support at this 150 to 160 area that we got to watch out for. And again, the E-mini looks like it's about to break out, or it's near long-term resistance levels, long-term pivot. Okay, we're getting a much bigger pull than we got last time, so I like that.
ten seconds.
Lock buy.
Holy shit.
One spot. The next few. And year-on-year aims 1,000 average week hourly.
Okay, well they blew right through any kind of level.
0% for the month and year-on-year aims. It's been referred to mapping something. It's on estimates. Estimates for percent in this is
CPI under expectations. Yeah, that was weird because I tried to buy that and the simulator immediately kicked me out of the position. No joke. So, I guess it just gave me the automatic stop there. Wow. It says that I got out at the top because that all happened so fast. So I don't know if I would have actually because when I clicked it, it was down here. So I don't know if I would have given me this and I could have gotten out or what, but be careful clicking if I ever see something like that again. That was one of the biggest volume dumps I have ever seen. And that was absolutely crazy. Okay, so it was under expectations. We got 0.2 versus 0.3 and 0.1 versus 0.2. It's pretty insane. Pretty insane, guys. Okay, well, it's sitting here at this level. It's having a hard time getting back to where our order is. Just gonna put this was news. Okay, now
Access. Rates.
okay, they are still pushing it down. So I don't know if I actually want this order to fill, but this I put this one in here because that was where the big order was. Did the S&P break? I didn't actually see it go. Okay, the S&P went up. Well, it's fighting quite a bit around here. If I actually get filled on that order, I think that it would be pretty good, but at the moment it doesn't look like it wants to go. That was pretty crazy. Okay. Okay. So 16 makes sense because that was an area that we stuck around many, many times. Okay, so my ADX says at the moment we're not yet trending. Okay. ZB having trouble. Not catching a bid yet. I like what we got here, 16.5. Okay, a little bit better now.
Block buy.
Wow, okay. So now that there's a block buy, we can just let this run. $18 is the next
Block
spot.
sell.
Okay. It's gonna be like that, huh? Okay. Well, there's one. I really need to fix that afterwards. Okay. Well, well, well. So there's still this price right here. This 14.5. I feel really good about that trade, that last trade, guys. I picked that one out almost perfectly. And we are in action that I would normally be like, okay, this is good moon. But I'm actually noticing that actually we're quite range bound here. We are quite range bound here. And sellers seem to be quite insistent as well. Now this 16 could give us something. Okay, yeah. $16 and like 16.5 is a little more sketchy. Yeah, it was. Okay, filled. Okay, so that one come against us quite a bit here. 16. Oof. Okay, well, we gotta try and get out. Okay. This is a tough trade because we're trying to catch a reversal, essentially. Like the move was up, the move completed, we come back almost to the news price. We're actually a little bit higher. We're right at the VWAP. Right, and now the trend is down, essentially, and so and you're actually getting like a trend. I think the stream might be muted. I don't think so, because if I do this, I probably hear myself. I'm so... Yep. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you just have the volume muted or something. Man, this whole thing has just been a little insane, hasn't it? Yeah, the thing that's weird about it is that a full stop for me would be 62, right? And it gave me negative 31. So it's like the sim automatically stopped me out of the trade or something. Like it didn't do what it was supposed to, what it should have done. So the whole thing is kind of weird. Okay, so absorption and the VWAP, pretty standard. Well, the E-mini is moving up still. 6J is higher. Okay, fighting. Flip. They blew through that 13 way too easily, guys. Wow. Yeah. Took them a second to accept it, but they did. Okay, so I'm noticing. Well, I'm going to just let it continue falling here. And if it can get back above the VWAP, then we could take it. I just can't imagine after a move like that and what the data is and everything, why would you want to sell the news price, you know?
Block buy.
Okay. So there was some initiation there. I'm gonna try getting in here at 120 half, 12 half, if I can. Because I want to see an iceberg here. I want to see the sellers try again and get hit by an iceberg. And there's a ZF trying to push it down, but the ZN didn't result in any volume. The net volume in ZF continues to be buying though. Okay. Trying to bust through, but there's an iceberg at 13. Damn. Okay. Yeah. I'd say that the market wants to go higher. They let it come back to the VWAP. They waited for some absorption. And then when it came in, they broke through the icebergs. They just, it was like 2 ticks, and I couldn't even, I tried to click market buy into it and I couldn't get it. So I'm going to say that's pretty positive. And I would like to see them get back to definitely 16. But then I think you could test 18. I don't know if they can beat out the high of the move, though. So I think we need to be aware that when you get a big move up like this, there's no guarantee that they're going to make a higher high. This move, if we go up to that high, I think that we have to start develop a serious trend that is stopping people out. Otherwise, what you're getting is just like everybody that was late trying to, get in. You know what I mean? Okay, well now we have a hero shown up, so they really are trying to push it. I can't remember who it was. Who was it? I think I was watching a webinar on Futures IO, but I could be wrong. And one of the things the guy was saying was he was talking about trading the right market, and he was saying, when it's the right market, pretty much everybody makes money and it's easy. And if you come in late to it, then like even the best guys barely break even. And so when I look at this on that, a move like this, I think, okay, if you were somehow able to buy before the news, then you made money no matter what, right? But now that the news has come past and now it's everybody kind of fishing for seconds, it gets a lot harder to make money. And so we need to be careful about the idea that it's for sure going to make a new high. We don't know that. So I'm watching for anything that might stop. But we are getting a trend. We are in trending action. So I can use kind of more of a trending action type exit strategy. Which does mean I am going to try and prefer to let it run. Okay, so now the cumulative delta is higher than it was at the top.
Block by.
I wasn't watching there at 26. I guess maybe he could have gotten filled. If he really got filled at 26, that's pretty crazy, dude.
Block by.
This is crazy. Okay, well, I'm a little skeptical, but he says that he did it, so I'm not gonna fight him too hard on it. I'd have to watch it back. The reason I'm skeptical is because if I look at 26, I only see 12 there. But there's also 18 half, so I think that they probably did clear him. But it's just really, really unlikely, you know? And for him to catch that was really good on him. Okay, so for this one, I think I need to move my stop up. So what I'm worried about right now is we're getting back up to where that last pivot was. We're one tick below it. The delta, the volume is definitely higher. But they could try and stop it here. If this is where they were going to stop it, then they would want to do it at 17. And it's just the way that the volume is going through, though. I think that they're going to blow through it. But there's the probability definitely changes. And if it comes down and we get a stop run, I don't want to lose my 15 because that would be like break even for me. So like on the day. So So reset to, yeah, there we go. Okay.
Balances.
Okay, so sellers are coming in here and trying to push it down. Look at this in ZF. They're being held off at 13.5. That's like right. Oh, there's point of control at 132. Okay, so they pushed through the iceberg in ZF and put some volume off, and they took another price. Okay, and they beat it here in ZN. So they are attempting to pivot here now. It seems to me like sellers had to put way too much into it to get it to happen. If that ZF can tick back up, it would be really, really good, but at the moment it doesn't look like they're going to do that, does it? Okay. So it could tick up in ZN. Come on, ZF. Oh gosh, come on, you gotta bid more than that, dude. Okay, well this one's holding. It's a little better. Nope. Okay. 8. I feel like here I'm taking a little bit more risk than I normally would because we have a really strong trend, and I already have a lot of profit banked into it, so I can afford to. But what I see here is that if the sellers had to spend a lot of capital to tick it down, and if the buyers are able to tick up, and it looks like they're having a much easier time ticking up, then these sellers are going to be like really screwed. And this is the sort of thing that I tend to see on like a trend day. I just see people fading the overall move and getting stopped out. So now the level 2 is playing a lot of games on us now. This is switching between 3 and 2. Okay, they tried hitting 13.7 and there's a little bit of resistance. Okay, they were ticked up. Not able to hold it. 13.5 is being flaky. This is more volume here at 137 than I would like, for sure. Over here in CB, I can see this big order right here. Well, no, that one's been following us up. Oh, hi, wife.
You are positive?
Mm. Okay, we are going to have to stop here at some point. Okay. Whoa, that was a pretty nasty hit that they just took right there. I think I want to get out here at the 17. Okay. I might just take that. I mean, that's 4 ticks on the day. I just really don't like seeing it struggle here. That's a good question. Where was it? I really want to know. Okay, so now they're kicking it back down again. This right here is really difficult for me because in my head right now I'm saying it's going to keep going up. It's going to just trend up. It's going to keep going. Like, how can you have such a huge volume move up and then a perfect VWAP bounce and it not go and make a new high? But the action that I'm seeing there at 17 is just not what I would expect to see at this point. They should have ticked it up above 17, stuck a big order on it, and started blowing that out of those guys. Yeah, thanks. And the thing that I think is going to be frustrating about this, well, okay, never mind. Because what we just got there is not what I thought might happen. Something that could happen. Well, okay, so now that we're here, I don't know. So the thing that I think could happen is we could see Tyler show up again. That's what I was going to say. So it's kind of like, it seems like now that they don't want to take it past this pivot, and then maybe some really big buyer just shows up out of nowhere, you know? And that would be really frustrating. Okay, well, it looks like maybe they're going to test lower again. The other thing I'm thinking here is, in my head is, it's Thursday. My wife usually works early on Thursday, and so I have to get the kids ready. And so I was also thinking there, well, there's a possibility that we pivot there and we move a little bit lower and then ultimately do make a new high, but I'm probably not going to be able to stay around long enough to see that. So if I see it pivoting here at 17 and that's what it looks like it's doing, then I should probably take it here and then, you know, just be happy with what I got and call it a day. with that volume. This is the thing I'm seeing is here is the locals. I mean, here's the news traders, right? They took profits, came back to the VWAP. They bought back in. The only problem is that this 16 area has been like a massive area. Well, so if I show you here on this chart right here, when we had this big sell on Tuesday, and it came back to 15, and then we got tons of volume here, right? And now today it's another point of control, but it's slightly higher. It's slightly higher. So I think that's a really bullish action that we're seeing. But on the split side, you know, your targets are going to be like this 23, 24 half, 120 up here above us. And if we just pewter out here, you know, then it's like almost like it was all for naught. So that's kind of why I feel like that there's a really good chance that we could make a new high. It's just at the moment they're not doing what we would need to see. Now if we see iceberging here at 16.5, that might be really good. Okay. They're not gonna take it right away, at least. There they did, but not enough of volume traded there. Not a huge offer, but not enough volume traded there to hold it. So at this point I would be afraid. I'm now this is at the point where if I had still been long, I would start to be saying, oh, maybe there was some signs of exhaustion there and I missed it. If they start hitting this 16, and I do see, I'm starting to notice, what do you think about this? And I'd be interested on Tucker's opinion on this in particular. It's like, if we tick down, what would be your threshold for that they accepted that downtick? You know, I normally look for like 1,500 or so on the offer, but then also that we saw about 50 orders trade into 16. That to me looks like, even though there's not a ton on the offer, that looks like price acceptance to me, and therefore increases the probability that we also tick down to 15.5. But I'm still kind of working that out. I'm not quite sure if that really means what I think it does or not, because we could definitely see down here, you know. Well, I guess I don't have a good example, but I've definitely seen places where it stopped, you know. There you go. So, another thing I want to note here. This is kind of odd in my mind, but ZB pivoted higher, ZN and ZF did not. Which given that the spread should be steepening, doesn't make sense to me.
Afternoon. Thank you.
And there you go. So I read that right.
Party.
Okay. So I'm not seeing a ton of orders come through here at 15.5 yet, so I don't know if they're accepting this tick down or not, but it sure looks like they are. Oh, that's right. Hmm.
The equities.
There you go. Now they accept it.
$12. Company.
Formerly known. Okay, so
Bankers. Being expected. Apartment picks. Apple. And Mike.
okay.
From Comcast. Parent. That would match the break. reported it.
Okay, well, I should probably, I think I will, oh, I don't know. This is tough. I don't want to, be walking back and forth and wanting to make more trades. I think we could come back to the VWAP and bounce again, frankly. I wonder why they're so insistent on selling it. It's kind of weird. But let's generate the charts and post those at the very least. I think we did pretty good for an hour of trading, and now look at that. It really came back. No new number today. I think we'll get a new number tonight. But I will post. Let's pull up the Bitcoins anyways. May 10th. Okay, well, I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stop recording now. Sad, I know. And there's going to be some good action going on here that I would like to watch later, but I don't want to have to come back and worry about turning it off and everything. So let's just review here really quick. We took this trade right here. We tried market buying on the news, and the simulator told us that we bought the top. So I don't believe that that is accurate, but it came back so fast. I'm gonna have to say that that was pretty ill-advised trade. And I don't know why it only gave us -2 ticks on that, because my stop is -4. So kind of weird, but whatever. This one I think was really good. We bought it. It was, you know, we're looking for a bounce, and we weren't getting what we wanted, and so we took it off. Now that was good. This one right here, you know, 5 minutes later or so, if I can show you here. So this was the bounce that we caught, and then it came back. I think that this second one didn't really make sense because, you know, they're going to try and stop it there. Let's close him. We don't need to listen to you anymore. So I think that this trade didn't really make sense. And you can see I almost immediately win against us. So probably not only did we did not make sense, but we didn't get out of it quickly enough at all, because we could have gotten -2 on it instead of -4. And then this one I think was almost perfect. I mean, I wanted to get in it earlier than I did, and I didn't get filled, but that's okay. There was enough pressure there, and we got a good run out of it. And not only that, but we got out at like the top almost. So I'm really happy if we can translate those exits onto the slow days. We're going to be in such a good spot. I mean, man, if we can optimize our exits, not only could we get like an extra tick in average winner, but we could probably also get another 5% in win rate. So that would make a big difference to our profitability. So I'm happy. Tomorrow is going to be an interesting day, because they're going to be dealing with the fallout of this. You know, we do have consumer sentiment and inflation expectations, import prices. So tomorrow might be like a hard day to trade, but I do think that we're going to have movement. So I think tomorrow is going to be a really good test for us. And yeah, okay, so Bitcoin's still not doing anything. I do think that we could see a sell-off today, because the buyers have the auction and they're not doing anything with it. So that's it for today. I will see you guys tomorrow.